Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is your host, Lansana Sako, with the Hidden Truth. Our topic today is in response to some of the beautiful and wonderful conversation on social media about some of my videos. And I appreciate all of you commenting on the video. That's what discussion is about. I don't expect people to agree with me. I don't expect everybody to agree with me. And I don't expect everybody to disagree with me. So whether you agree with me or you disagree with me, I appreciate your input. I can learn from you in as much as you can learn from me. So all together we can learn from each other. So I very much appreciate that. I wanted to respond to some things that I came across, and I just wanted to educate my brothers and sisters, including me, about electing our leaders or any leader. Sometimes we have leaders that are orators, backed by nothing. A lot of speeches, but backed by nothing. No action behind the speeches. We have those. But I will guarantee you that you cannot say that about Kandeh Yumkella. Look at his life's work. Everything he has preached about, especially sustainable energy, he has followed it up with hard work. He has proven that whatever he preaches, he practices. Just like Barry White said, practice what you preach. And that's Kandeh Yumkella. He preaches, and then he practices what he preaches. Unlike many people, either in the private sector or in government, that do talk, but they do something else. Now, some responses are coming to me by people sending the speech given by Honorable Julius Maada about freedom of speech, freedom of this and freedom of that, and swearing to uphold the Constitution of Sierra Leone. But then we all know that many African leaders or head of states have always preached all those beautiful things that they guaranteed we should have under our Constitution. They've preached the sanctity of the rule of law. They have preached about the separation of powers, which is the executive that comprises of the president and his cabinet, the legislative that comprises of the ministers or Congress or member of parliament, and the judiciary that comprises of our courts and our judges. But yet still, they interfered with all those branches of government. And it says that power corrupts, absolute power corrupts absolutely. Now, we can take one example that the APC government has infringed on all those rights and those rules of laws, have broken all of them in one way or the other. Let's take in the case of Sam Sumana. Sam Sumana was fired without due process. He was fired first from the party and then fired as vice president by single-handedly by the president, when in fact the president had no right to fire him. The people are supposed to fire him, meaning when he was elected with the president together. So the president did not select him, the people elected him. So therefore the people are supposed to fire him. And who are the people? The people are the legislative, because members of parliament are representing different constituencies of Sierra Leone. So therefore they should have gone to vote whether any misconduct occurred on the path of the vice president, Sam Sumana. And if they come to the determination that there was one, then he should be fired. But yet still, let's look. When the president was taking the oath of office, he swore to uphold the Constitution of Sierra Leone. So in this case, he didn't. Like many other presidents in African countries. So speeches alone that I will do this does not guarantee us freedom and liberty. Somebody sent me Maada Bio's speech, when I asked for what he has done since he left the presidency of Sierra Leone, globally or nationally. It doesn't have to be building a house, doesn't have to be giving people money, none of that. It can be as simple as tutoring, going to give back to your country. But instead, he was out of the country for a long time. And I do understand that he needs to go to school, and he has accomplished that. I commend him for that. But when you're comparing Maada Bio with Kandeh Yumkella, you have to be very, very, very careful, because Kandeh Yumkella is a well-accomplished man, globally and nationally. He served his government or his country during Kaba's government or Strauss's government. He did. And then he's serving the world globally. In fact, he's just coming from the Vienna Energy Conference Forum, wherein you heard the person that introduced him. He said he is passionate about sustainable energy. His work has gone all over the world, meaning it has benefited many people. Is Sierra Leone included in that? Possibly. But even if Sierra Leone is not included in that, this shows us that this man, if he can go out and help the whole world, he won't be limited to helping his own country. I think he'll be more passionate. I've seen him in many videos wherein he talks about his country and his village. So this is a passionate man about his country. So when you send me a speech from Maada Bio guaranteeing freedom, liberty, and other things, it's all good. But there has to be action behind those things, because we have seen many people that have promised all those things. So promising those speeches does not mean that Mr. Bio has accomplished something more than Dr. Kandeh Yumkella. No, I love Mr. Bio, and I commend him for serving our country, like I always said, in a very diligent manner. Okay? And I know most of the craziness that is going around from his supporters, he wouldn't like it. He's not telling them to go and disrupt or to intimidate other people or to exercise violence. He's not doing that. He's not that kind of man. I know that. But at the same time, I think he should speak more to calm the situation down. He should come out more publicly and talk. There are television stations, radio stations. He can go on them at any time. Any radio station will allow him to speak. So it's not only limited to him, it's limited to all the aspirants. You come out more to speak against violence. And I would love to see 3 debates between Kandeh Yumkella, Maada Bio, Kelly, Ali Kaba, Timbo, Kamarimba, and all the rest. But I'll tell you that saying, just giving me speeches as a rebuttal to what I write is really not feasible. Okay, you have to give me something. You have to present something to me that this is what Maada Bio has done since he left office. That's what I want, not old speeches. Now we see Kandeh, he talks a lot, he gives speeches, but he backs them up by action. And that's the kind of person we want to lead Sierra Leone. And people keep telling me, well, his international influence is not what it is. Yes, it is. The man has influence all over the world. We are a country that depend on donors. If we depend on donors, we need to go talk to them and convince them for us to get donations. Okay? And for us to do that, for them to give it to us, they have to trust our leaders. Nowadays, they don't trust African leaders because they believe that they are corrupt. If you listen to Obama's speech when he's the first American president that ever attended the AU, African Union, meeting in Addis Ababa, he said he insinuated that they are corrupt in a very nice and polite way, that they want to stay in power for life, even though they've gathered so much wealth. He said that. This is how the Western world thinks about African leaders, that they're corrupt. So there's no need to waste their time and give them any kind of support in kind or in cash, because it's going to go into their pockets and their family's pocket. That's what it is. But with Kandeh Yumkella, I believe people really, really trust him outside of Sierra Leone. And that's the kind of person we need to attract businesses in Sierra Leone, to attract businesses to Sierra Leone, so that our people will have jobs. They'll be able to give their families 3 square meals a day and send them to good schools, improve their lives, health sector, agricultural sector, and energy sector. Thank you very much. This is The Hidden Truth again with your host, Lance Anasako. God bless you. God bless Sierra Leone.